My brain is so focused on entertaining the audience.
Even in the middle of a serious interview about his stint in the Winnipeg Jazz Festival, Al Simmons can't help but insert a bit of his trademark humor.
The musical end of it is a real challenge. So rather than doing crossword puzzles, I do that. Woo, woo, woo. They're asking me questions too. They had questions for me.
It's raining, it's pouring.
It wouldn't be a regular conversation with Simmons without a departure into comedy. After all, Simmons has spent the past 44 years as one of Canada's premier children's entertainers. He's known for his zany antics and vaudeville-style act.
I think I'll fetch my feather collection for an annual inspection.
But if you listen closely and look past the costumes and dancing, you will hear the inspiration Simmons takes from his favorite era of music.
I have a real fondness for music of the late 20s and early 30s in the jazz genre. It's my favorite era of music. Paul Nolan, the fellow that runs the Jazzfest, and I've had many conversations about jazz and that, and the jazz influence in a lot of my tunes on my CDs. And when he started the Jazzfest all those years ago, he said, "Al, we got to get you in here somehow or other."
That's why I shout, everybody love my baby, love my baby.
And it turns out 2013 is the year that's happening. Along with local musicians Daniel Kulak, Greg Lowe, and Ron Paley, Simmons will join the roster of the TD Winnipeg International Jazz Festival, playing multiple shows throughout the week. But just because they're playing jazz doesn't mean Simmons won't break out his trademark personality. In fact, his fellow musicians are counting on it.
When my baby kisses me on my rosy cheeks.
You never know what's going to happen when there's an Al Simmons show. And I might be on the bandstand, but I'm also an audience member because, it's fresh every time. And it doesn't matter if you've done the show 10 times, every time's going to be different with Al.
Greg's a ding-dong daddy from Dumas. You ought to see him do his stuff.
I would expect something completely bizarre, and it's what I got. I mean, I went, Al Simmons, oh my goodness. I mean, he's got all those zany tunes, but he's also a fine singer, which often is buried in the zaniness of the performance. But I think maybe on this show you get a little bit more of his he can sing and he can play the banjo, so it's a whole nother dimension to Al that you might miss in his kids' shows.
Listen to him do his stuff.
The acoustics in Daniel Kulak's kitchen are perfect for this impromptu rehearsal. Although Ron Paley couldn't make it with his accordion on this day, you get a pretty good feel for what the quartet will sound like when they take the stage.
We're four wise guys who improvise. It's all off the cuff.
Al's stuff, I mean, really it harkens a lot of his material. He does even with the big prop stuff. It's built on old jazz tunes. It's of a certain era. It's not modern jazz, obviously, but it really has the feel of the 30s, the 40s, and the golden age of jazz. So to me, I mean, I'm not sure what other people think, but to me, it makes complete sense.
Of course, if you know Al Simmons at all, you know that he's not one to take all the credit, and he says the strength of his jazz shows come from the talents of the men playing alongside him.
Wait till you hear him slap that bass, his fingers.
Playing with my pals is going to be great fun, especially because I like improvising comedy, and they love improvising music. It's going to be an incredible mix. Ron is rehearsing with his big band today. He couldn't join us, and Ron, I've picked up your pass. I've got your pass, so I'll bring it for you, okay? So don't go to the Jazzfest and get your pass, okay?
For Shaw TV's Go Winnipeg, I'm Kim Babbage.
See us do our stuff.